I'm gonna be up every day if the sun come up. And most of the time I go to sleep after everybody else. So I don't realize is that, the devil just fights me constantly. That's how I know that I'm actually on the right path, is because no matter what I do, I always gotta fight every single day. You know what I mean? But that ain't really that ain't really what I care about. You know what I'm saying? I care about staying focused. I wasn't raised as a peasant. I was raised as royalty. So I don't think like normal people think when problems come. When problems come, I understand at all times, right, that this is just a test and this is just gonna make me stronger. A peasant will give up and fold. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not royalty. They're not held to a higher standard. They're not held above recourse. They don't live there. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they weren't raised like a royal. They weren't raised in a royal standard. I was raised in a royal standard. You know what I mean? Like, the way that I think, the way that people hold me accountable, the way that I do stuff. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I was thinking that's what sets me apart. You know what I mean? You know how they try to say black people were kings and queens and doctors and lawyers and stuff. Not all black people live by the same rules that I live by. And not all black people can understand what I understand, let alone the rest of the people in the world. And that's because I'm royalty, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know how people going around saying I'm a king, I'm a queen, but they running around here acting like peasants? I don't act like a peasant. You know what I mean? I know what it takes to be royalty. And if you do, you do. Like they say, what's understood don't need to be explained. You know what I'm saying? It's an unspoken language that only a few of us understand. And now's the time for all of us to link. Now it's time for us all to link up. All the royal standards, the royal, the black gold. You know what I mean? It's time for us because we all have gifts. We all have things we have to do, and we have to use those gifts to better our people and to better humanity. Or just to do our part. You know what I mean? It's maybe we can't even better people, but you still have to do your part. Because in doing your part, what you're doing is you're helping time move forward. You know what I mean? If you don't do your part, somebody else is going to do your part. And then you are going to become a peasant because you didn't live up to the standard of royalty. You get degraded. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to know yourself. You got to be yourself. You got to let nobody change you. The peasants don't always understand why royalty is taxing them or they're the royal. You know what I mean? They don't understand what it takes to be the royal. That's why they're the peasant. So what you have to do is you have to maintain your status at all times. Mission is not for everybody to understand. You know what I'm talking about? What you do in your life is not for everybody, especially if you're royalty. Everybody can't walk this path. Everybody don't got what it takes inside of them. Everybody don't have that heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever seen that movie Troy? And the little kid comes up to Achilles and he says to him, the Arcadian you're about to fight is the biggest man I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him, right? And what did Achilles say? He looked at that little boy, he hopped on his horse, and he said, and that's why nobody will ever remember your name. Nobody will ever remember your name, little boy, because you're a coward and you're afraid to go up and fight somebody based off of their size because you don't know what you have in you. It's the same thing that they have in them. You're limiting yourself because you're not royalty and nobody ever taught you the things that royalty understands. Feel me? And there's another thing. I like war movies. And if you remember that movie, Gladiator, right? With Russell Crowe. In the beginning of the movie when he was still the general, you see he was royalty. He was royalty no matter what. The emperor wanted him to take over, right? Royalty is a certain mindset. Just because you're born into something, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're royalty. Royalty is a mindset. Because Russell Crowe in the movie Gladiator, he was the general that everybody respected. But like I was saying, let me not forget, what he said before they went to battle in the beginning of the movie, he said, what you do in this life echoes in eternity. You know what I'm saying? See, when you royal, you understand eternity is what you're going after, not this temporary stuff that's going on down here. You understand what kingdom you're a part of. You feel me? If you don't understand what kingdom you're a part of, you need to understand there's only two sides. There's only two sides. There's only two kingdoms. There's not a whole bunch. And there's not no gray area either. There's no gray area. You know what I'm saying? There's no area that's like gray where you can be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're either on this side or you're on that side of royalty. What you do in this life echoes in eternity. You know what I mean? They cut that man down and he still worked his way up. They were supposed to kill him. That man just wouldn't die. And that's actually what the guy that tried to kill him said. He said, "You just won't die." I know people probably feel the same way about me. No matter what they try to do, I just won't die. That's because I'm royalty. When are you guys gonna figure this out? It's a mindset. Your mindset is everything, man. Your mindset. Being rich is a mindset. Being broke is a mindset. Being royal is a mindset, right? Being depressed is a mindset, right? Being happy is a mindset. It's all a mindset. Well, and since it's all a mindset, right? When we talk about mindsets, everything that has to do with your mind is spiritual. That's the spiritual realm. That's why they say the devil's talking to your mind. Let your conscience be your guide. Those are spiritual things. Anything that's going on in your head is spiritual. You know what I mean? The devil comes every day to fight me. Every single day. Doesn't matter. Before I even get out of bed, the devil's there waiting for me to attack me and get me, try to blindside me. So I gotta always be prepared. I gotta always be ready and have a positive mindset in place to defend anything that's gonna try to come and attack that, to either stagger me or hold me up or get me to lose my focus, lose my cool, or come out of character. You know what I mean? It's all up to us. We are all standing in our own acres of diamonds. You know what I'm saying? You could get up, you can complain, you can get me mad, or whatever you want to do, and try to throw it off on everybody else, right? No. Your mindset is your driver. You get what I'm saying? Your mindset is driving. You're behind the wheel. You're the one that's directing where to go. You get what I'm saying? Everybody is in this big tractor, this dirt tractor. I heard Earl Nightingale talk about this. Everybody's in this big dirt tractor. One of those big things, the Tonka trucks, I mean. Everybody's mindset is like one of those. You know what I mean? And you're perched up at the top. And that's how much power is in the mind. You know what I'm saying? I'll really break this down for you. You are in the top of that Tonka truck with that big steel thing, that big old truck that digs the earth up and moves it from one place to the other. It's making things happen. It's setting the foundation, right? That's your mindset. That's the mind that you have. Your mindset is that powerful. And the person that's up there in the driver's seat is you. You know what I'm saying? You're the one that's up there directing your mind where to go. You can't let outside forces come in and direct you what to think. If you're not in control of your thoughts, somebody else is in control of your thoughts. And if nobody's in control of your thoughts, can you just imagine if one of those big Tonka trucks was just driving around crazy on the freeway? Imagine how many people would get killed. That's a toxic situation because you don't have no control over your mindset. You get what I'm saying? That's how dangerous it is. That's why you got to stay in control at all times. You know what I mean? Your mindset is what guides you. Your mindset is what places things in your reality. Your subconscious, right? Everybody is gone off the subconscious. If you don't know what subconscious is, your subconscious is like when you hop into a car and you just go and you drive, right? Like, you know, put the car in the gear, look behind you, you know all the things, put on the gas, or first you turn on the key, get in, put it in the gear, then you drive, right? All right, when you first learned how to drive, it wasn't like a natural thing. It wasn't on autopilot because you had to learn how to do it, like talking or reading or anything else, right? But it became a part of your subconscious because of repetitious information, right? Wait, there's 4 things that make up your subconscious or your paradigm. You know what I mean? And your paradigm or your subconscious is what basically sends you into autopilot. And I'm gonna explain. But let me explain. So your subconscious kicks in the autopilot. You know what I mean? When you're driving, autopilot kicks in. When you're reading, autopilot kicks in. These are things that are automatically done because they have been ingrained into your subconscious. And the 4 things that make up your subconscious, right? Let's see if I can remember. Your social environment, your credible authority, repetitious information, and personal experiences. Those are the 4 things that make up your paradigm, all right, or your subconscious. And by those 4 things, that's what makes up your whole belief system. You get what I'm saying? So that programs you to go into autopilot anytime a situation arises. You feel me? So you've got to think about those 4 things, and you've got to learn to control what you think. That means you have to control those 4 situations. Those 4 things are, just so you remember, right? Personal experience, credible authority, repetitious information, and personal experience. Right? Yeah. I think I said all 4 of them. You know what I mean? So, it's all up to you. It's Friday. You can either choose to be base-minded and lame and fall back into the same trap and let the devil win, or you can get up and fight. Next time I'll talk to you about the terror barrier, but right now, just focus on controlling those 4 areas. Your credible authority, your personal experiences, your repetitious information, right? And your personal experience, repetitious information, credible authority, social environment. You control those 4 areas and you can control your mind.